expecting when I only have one guest for them to just sit all the way over there?
They'll be shouting.
You immediately made yourself comfortable, which is the right thing to do.
This is not my first rodeo.
No, Matt Lanter from Clone Wars just laid on the couch, which was uncomfortable because there were 3 other people on his panel, but we can turn this into like a therapy session if you want to lay down.
I'm lay down. I'm just here
to talk about your childhood. Yeah, we can get into it. So I'm gonna actually jump around now. I don't know if you heard that applause backstage, but this is not a Flash panel anymore. This is a Sky High panel now.
Great, I'm here for it.
I guess what's funny is that you got your start in movies like Sky High and you know, kind of the Disney Channel original era, if you will. But then you ended up kind of you graduated from Sky High and went, I guess, to like superhero college with all the Flash stuff.
With a horror film stopover.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to talk about that.
And also, by the way, speaking of Matt Lanter,
yeah,
we're going all over the place, guys.
Your co-star.
Yeah, he and I worked together on a show called Shark.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't really want to do the math.
One
how
fan.
many years ago.
One fan, yeah.
No one else was old enough to watch television when Shark was on the air.
But take us back to Sky High. Like,
sure.
People have such a, I think, especially of a certain age and generation, people have such a love of that movie. What is your kind of memories?
Also, deep love for
how
that
old
movie.
Were you?
I think I was 16 when we made that movie. Almost 20 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. You know, what's great about that movie, though, and I haven't rewatched it in a little while, is it has that, like, 80s John Hughes, high school feel to it. And, like, some of the movies, or some of the songs in the movie are 80s covers. Which is cool. So it was great. I mean, and wonderful things.
It's funny, too, the time it came out in 2005, because it was just, like, it was pre-MCU, it was pre-even, like, you know, like Dark Knight, Nolan era DC. It was kind of like commenting on superhero movies before superhero movies were like really a thing. But I'm sure a lot of us grew up loving that movie, and it was like really tapped into something that if you loved comic books, you know, you had a special place in your heart for that movie. It's so funny to see all of you from the class of Sky High, like Nicholas Braun on Succession.
So proud of him. I remember when he got that pilot, we were volunteering, it's called Young Storytellers, it's a nonprofit I volunteer with in LA, and we were volunteering together, and he was like, I just got this job, I'm gonna go to New York for a pilot, and I'm really excited. And I was like, that's great.
Cut to
like Emmy award winning.
One of the greatest TV series ever. Yeah.
I just watched the finale.
I'm still not, I haven't emotionally recovered. We won't spoil anything because maybe everyone hasn't watched it, but it's,
So proud of Nick, so proud of Michael, who's directing his second feature right now. And Mary Elizabeth is just killing it.
Everybody.
It's great.
Like all of you went on to do, you know, incredible things. But then, flash forward, I guess, to all the DC TV stuff. What?
You jumped like 15 years.
We're jumping around. What's incredible to me is that, you know, I think everyone's very hopeful for what James Gunn's about to come in and do with his kind of 10-year plan of DC, but the movies have always kind of been disjointed in terms of like the DC cinematic universe, but it felt to me like y'all on TV always had it figured out. Like, I think it kind of laid the groundwork and blueprint for what a shared universe could be, and then, you know, you just kind of had your finale pretty recently this year. So now,
a couple weeks ago.
So, I mean, what are those feelings like fresh, kind of coming off that in your time across this whole universe?
My feelings about what? The Arrowverse?
Just like being a part of that and being a part of something special for DC fans that I think we haven't quite really experienced yet on the big screen.
I think a lot of the credit goes to Greg Berlanti, who is a genuine fan of all these superheroes and an incredible storyteller. Like, that was one of the things that attracted me to the show initially was, again, he's a great storyteller, so I trusted that he was going to make great TV. I mean, they had a plan, you know, and just like surrounded themselves with such smart people and people who knew the comic books and could think of ways to integrate all the stories. And I didn't read comic books growing up, so it's like all new to me. And,
It's a safe space. You can say that here. Yeah.
and just like, I was always impressed by all the different storylines and how they commingled them and things like that.
But it's no small feat for you because you didn't like technically kind of play one character.
I did not.
There's like different personalities, and it's like at one point you just ascend to like goddess level.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
You guys haven't seen season 9. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll probably spoil it.
Everyone's seen it. You're in a
I do think it's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
This week. It's very exciting.
So you didn't grow up reading comics, but then once you got that part and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many layers to these characters. Did you then dive in?
I also made the choice not to because I thought it would get too confusing. Like, I wanted to stick with the scripts and the stories we were telling and be true to that, rather than trying to understand all the different universes.
Yeah.
But like when I direct, I really lean on the comic books. Like particularly the first episode I directed, we introduced the character of Godspeed. So to get to go back and look at the comic books, and I had them send me a few. DC Dan sent me a few. That was a guy's name. And he, just so I could look at them and visually see how, he was photographed and see if we could replicate some of that.
I just had it. Oh my gosh. If you could change any storyline in The Flash, what would it be?
I really wanted season 4. I wanted Frost, at the time Killer Frost, to still be a villain. Like, I thought that would have been an interesting storyline and an interesting twist and something to explore. Like, she was not very nice in season 3. And Team Flash pretty quickly welcomed her into the fold when she was like, no, it's good, guys, I'm good now. So I would have loved to have seen that and like just the dynamics it would have caused in Team Flash a little bit more.
Thank you.
Thanks.
My question is mainly because everybody talks about how Tom Cavanaugh played 17 million characters on the show, but you also played a lot. So my question is really, how much say did you have on like Killer Frost, Caitlin, like Keo, all being like different?
Yeah, I think the difference between what Tom did is like he would play a couple characters, but like just in one scene, you know what I mean? So he was really sort of going for the comedy of it, and he just like had to throw some robes on and call it a day. And I think to have to develop these different characters over many episodes and sometimes many seasons, it was, it was a different thing. So what was the second part of your question?
How much say did you have in like the characters and how they were going to go?
In terms of the writing, not always a ton, and even if I said stuff, that didn't mean they listened, much to my chagrin. I will say I really wanted them to bring, spoiler alert, sorry guys, Caitlin back before the end of the series. I didn't think it would be appropriate to finish the series without her, so I was glad that they ultimately did that. But like other things, like the Killer Frost suit that I wore, gosh, we built it in season 5, but I didn't start wearing it until season 6. That's my favorite suit, and like, there's a new Funko, and that Funko has that suit, and Kate and I really collaborated on that, and like took stuff, again, I didn't necessarily read the comics, but like the emblem on my Frost suit is directly lifted from one of the Killer Frosts in the comic book, so, we really tried to pay homage to them as much as possible.
Do you collect your own Funkos and
Literally
figures?
last week I was like, wait a minute, I've never seen this before. I had no idea. I should get one.
Hi Danielle, my name is Gabby. I love The Flash, but my question is actually on one of your Disney Channel original movies, Read and Weep. My sister and I love that movie, and I think we loved it a lot more because you basically acted with your little sister. And I was wondering how that process was. Like, was it fun working with your sister, or was it really difficult?
No, it was great. When you have a sibling, there's a shorthand between the two of you. So that was such a special experience. And like Disney was great. Like I was in college at the time, and so we filmed on weekends so that I could go to school Monday through Friday, and then we'd film a lot of the high school stuff on Saturday and Sunday. So they were incredibly supportive of that, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, Iz was my favorite. I loved her.
She was fun too. She's also a little sassy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I was 22 when Sky High came out, and I was still a huge fan. So
Thank you.
I had a two-part question. Number one, if you had any insight on why part 2 never got made, and the second part of that question would be, would you be willing to direct it if it came up?
Amazing. Yes, I would love to. I would love to, anything to do with Sky High. I mean, I've pitched versions of it. You know, the producer Andrew Gunn is still a friend. My understanding is that Disney has always said no. I have writer friends who've pitched Freeform and make it a series, a limited series. I would love to be a part of that. But my understanding is Disney has always said no.
Hi, I'm Christine.
Hi.
I just want to say, watching The Flash, I always got a feeling that the cast that y'all felt like such a family. Was that in real life? Some two working that long together, did y'all get very close?
For sure, for sure. Also, like most families, we had our dysfunction, but we do love each other all very much. I think that's the hardest part, is not seeing, the show being over, is not seeing each other, not knowing when we will see each other again.
Yeah, and we'll all miss them too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, as a director, what genre would you be most interested in exploring?
I'm really open. I think that's what has been so fun about directing Flash these last few years is, the 5 different episodes I've done have been very different. Some of them, like this last one, I'm really proud of. It's probably the biggest in scale, and we got to do some of the most stunts and special effects. It's huge, and I'm really proud of that one. But I've had smaller episodes which are more based on relationships. I mean, it shouldn't be surprising, but I love working with actors, so to get to do stuff like that that's dramatic and you can work on the scene work is really fun for me as well.
Right. Thank you so much. Well, we really do look forward to what you do next, and your many directing projects and whatever you do behind the camera, in front of it, everything in between. So another Fan Expo
Thank you guys.
Dallas round of applause.